What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and the stimulus check update. And there's a lot of states that are now sending out their own stimulus checks. President Biden has called on the federal government to pause the entire federal gas tax, do a gas tax holiday, and for all the states to pause their state gas taxes. And he has also said he's considering a gas tax, or I'm sorry, a gas check, a gas rebates check, which would basically be like a fourth stimulus check as well. We'll be going over several of these here in this video. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on our new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. Let's jump right in. Here we go. Okay, first up, the state of California. Deal reached on plan for more than $9 billion in gas refunds to California drivers. $9 billion. That's a lot of B's. 9 billions. Yeah, you can see here. California gas tax rebate poised to send hundreds of dollars to eligible drivers. Yeah, there's remember last year California sent out the stimulus checks that were $600 per person and an extra $500 if you had a child for a total of $1,100. This time around, they're saying you can get up to $1,050. Here's the details. Oh, also, I want to say we're going to be covering several different states here, and we'll talk about federal checks as well, federal gas tax holiday, multiple different things. If you've been watching my show, you know that really we've been trying to cover as many states as we can. Whenever the news comes out about any states, I cover it. I'm not picking and choosing states or anything. Just basically, as I see states with news, I cover it. I think that more and more states are saying, hey, let's use our money because every single state got more than $1 billion from the last stimulus package. And also states are all running surpluses right now. So like for example, California has $97 billion of surplus money. I know it's crazy to even think about how much money that is. And the federal government, it says they're going to be able to pay down the federal deficit by 1.5 to 1.7 trillion dollars. So think about that. That the last stimulus check cost 400 billion. 400 billion. So that's enough for 4 rounds of $1,400 stimulus checks. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Well, that's a lot of money. So this is because one of the reasons is that a lot of people have gone back to work, so there's a lot more income tax being paid to the government. There's a lot more sales tax being paid. There's a lot more just all sorts of taxes being paid right now. So unemployment is near a 50-year low. It's at 3.6% right now. This is part of the reason why inflation is hot. You know, when you have an economy that's just running at full speed, it's overheating economy, if you've ever heard that. This is part of the reason why. It's also because, well, gas prices are insane right now. Food prices are at an all-time high. Gas prices are at an all-time high, both in the U.S. and all around the world. So it's not the U.S. If you've been watching my channel, or not just the U.S., I should say. If you've been watching my channel, you know that gas prices in Europe are like $8 or $9 a gallon. If you equate it to U.S. dollars and U.S. gallons, just to make it equal, so their gas is actually way more than ours, and their inflation is typically around 30 or 40-year highs as well. Also, so they're pretty much most of the world is dealing with the exact same problem as us. But here, let's go over the details of this. And I'll cover a couple more states here after this as well, and then the federal details here as well. So California gas tax rebate poised to send hundreds of dollars to eligible drivers. Yeah, Governor Gavin Newsom and state lawmakers have reached a tentative deal to send $9.5 billion in tax refunds to Californians, providing as much as $1,050 to families this fall in a long awaited financial relief from record high gasoline prices and other costs. So, as much as $1,050. So, here is how this will break down. They still have to finalize this. But here are the details as they're coming in. The plan will provide larger refunds to households that earn less money and include additional payments for dependents because, well, you have more people in your family, according to documents outlining the proposal. Though Newsom originally hoped to get money back in people's pockets this summer, discord among Democrats in the state capitol delayed the timeline. Refunds to offset the highest fuel costs of any state in the nation will probably not start going out until October if they approve it by the legislature next week. Yeah, so they need to still hurry up. There's also a plan to issue refunds to a larger part of the state budget for other things like education. There could be bonuses for healthcare workers as well, money to address drought and wildfire, which they literally have in California a lot, expanded access to abortion services, which is obviously a hot topic right now, and other funding priorities for other Democratic leaders. Okay, Californians that have an income cap of $250,000 for individual taxpayers and $500,000 for joint filers will be eligible. Now, in some parts of California, that actually might not be that much. It's over there. Some prices, are very expensive. The plan will provide refunds on a sliding scale based on 3 income levels. An individual who earns up to $75,000 a year would earn a refund of $350, which would double to $700 for joint filers earning as much as $150,000 for $200 for 2 people. So $350 check refunds. 2 people would be $700, as you can see here. Households will receive an additional $350 payment if they claimed any dependents for a maximum refund of $1,050. So a maximum check refund of $1,050. At the next income level, single filers who earn up to $125,000 would get $250 refunds. If you're married filing jointly, you would get $500. If you have any children, you get an additional $250 for a total maximum as much as $750. Individuals who earn up to $250,000, or if you're married filing jointly, you could get $400, and the maximum, if you have children, you can get would be $600. The legislature will vote on refunds and a final state budget plan in a series of bills next week, if they can agree on it and pass it. Lawmakers sent the governor a budget plan totaling more than $300 billion. Whew, takes a lot of money to run a state that size. That's a lot. Next up, in the state of Minnesota, Minnesota Democrats call for $1,000 rebate checks or stimulus checks, whatever you want to call them. But Republicans want permanent tax cuts. And, well, sometimes a permanent tax cut in some cases for some people might be better because it's, well, the key word here is permanent. But that actually might cost the state a lot more too, so you got to kind of, keep that in mind. Here's the details. Governor Tim Walz, who is a Democrat, called on Republicans to return to the Capitol in a special session to sign off on sending $1,000 stimulus checks to Minnesotans as the rising price of gas, food, and everything else eats away at people's paychecks. $1,000 stimulus checks is a nice round number, right? Especially for a state check. Quote, it's absolutely unconscionable not to do this, Waltz said during his news conference. The state is sitting on about a $7 billion surplus. You can see here different states, different sizes, all that, kind of comes under consideration. The state would rebate about $4 billion of the budget surplus to taxpayers out of the $7 billion. Individuals earning less than $165,000 would receive $1,000, and couples earning less than $275,000 would receive $2,000. Yeah, that's a nice number. I mean, $1,000 and $2,000 for couples. Not bad, not bad. Let me know your thoughts on this and the California one. We're seeing a lot of states, a lot of states. This item is called an idea by the governor called the Walls checks, which Democratic legislators have warmed to since inflation has passed a 40-year high. Republicans have other priorities, including permanent tax cuts and spending increases for schools, nursing homes, and infrastructures. Senate Majority Leader blasted the idea, calling the proposal a desperate attempt by the governor to distract voters from his record of higher taxes. It does say here that Senate Republicans for the state of Minnesota here passed a package of tax cuts earlier this year totaling $8.4 billion over 3 years, which House Democrats balked at, saying the state needed to make more investments in education, healthcare, and public safety in infrastructure. So it looks like they passed it in the Senate, but not in the House of Minnesota, is what it looks like. So this gives you an idea of how each state kind of works. Republicans and Democrats failed to reach a deal on the details, leaving the state's historic surplus money largely unspent before they adjourned. So if you're wondering what your state is doing with their money, I'm trying to keep you up to date here with as many states as I can as I get news of these. I'll be covering them here on my channel. I'll go over here some more information here in a second. But this kind of gives you an idea of how states, cities, and the federal government, how Republicans and if you think Republicans and Democrats, are like this on the federal level, it's kind of the same on the state level, right? They're always kind of bickering, and but honestly, a lot of states have already passed a lot of different things here. So on the federal level, President Biden has called for a 3-month federal gas tax holiday to pause the federal gas taxes for the entire country. He has also called on all the states to pause their state gas taxes, which some states have already done. Some states' gas taxes are stopping and considering doing it as more. But if your state did it and the federal government did it, then it could be as high as 50 to 70 cents per gallon, depending on your state taxes with both of those combined. So it could be pretty decent if states and the federal gas tax got that passed. We have seen multiple states already pass their state gas taxes. New York actually has a state gas tax going on right now. That's one of the larger states here in the nation. So we do have several different states already doing this. We also have been seeing a lot of news on this. As you can see here, gas stimulus checks from the White House may be possible. And this is basically because of, inflation. Inflation is just ridiculously high. And just like just like California, just like all these other states are, and the states that have already passed their checks, their tax rebate checks, their gas inflation checks, whatever they want to call it, they all have the money to do it, and the federal government has the money to do it here as well. Especially with the elections coming up, we could see, right, as you can see here, a gas stimulus check from the White House. So this is becoming a very real possibility, especially as the election is creeping right around the corner. Now, President Biden's not up for reelection for basically a little bit over 2 more years, but every single person in the House of Representatives is up for reelection, and also about 1/3 of senators are up for reelection as well. Senators serve 6-year terms. So House of Representatives serve 2-year terms, and they're all up for reelection. Also, most state governors are up for reelection, and we also have where state legislatures in their own state House and state Senate are up for reelection as well. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here. We got a lot going on here in our country. It's this week has been insane, has it not, with Roe versus Wade and the gun safety bill being passed in the House, the Senate, and the president having signed it now. Um, yeah, yeah. At least they got something done on that. A lot of people think it wasn't enough. But it was a step in the right direction. With the Roe versus Wade, a lot of people on both sides of the equation here, and there's a lot of protests going on right now. So I will keep you up to date here with everything going on in our country. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so, so you don't miss out on new videos. And then click the bell icon that appears so you get notifications when we go live with new videos. You can click here to see my newest video on stimulus checks that I just did. And here's my newest video on student loan forgiveness. $6 billion of it just happened. So if you have student loans, click on that video. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.